August 2019 edition of the Botswana Stock Exchange Opening Bell Ceremony under the theme Importance of a Financially Literate Botswana. My name is Khotla Serwe and I'll be leading proceedings of this morning's short program. Before we commence with the agenda, kindly allow me to observe protocol and acknowledge the presence of the following. We have the Chief Executive Officer of the Botswana Stock Exchange, Mr. Thapelo Tseole. We have the BSE Head of Market Development, Ms. Thapelo Maribame. We have our special guest this morning. The brilliant minds in front of me are the third, second, and champions of the 2018 Botswana BSE Senior Secondary Schools Finance and Investment Competition winners. In third place, of course, which took the school that took third place in last year's competition, we had in attendance this morning Macha College with the patrons Mr. Palai as well as Ms. Toka. Please just stand up. Let us recognize you this morning. Thank you. We have, of course, the second place school that took in the Senior Secondary Schools competition, Nata Senior Secondary School, and the patrons Mr. Mutimele as well as Mr. Khai Tsadri. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Please stand up. Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge and recognize Lobata Senior Secondary Schools, who are our current champions. Unfortunately, they're still in traffic. They're making their way here. They'll join us during the course of the program this morning. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the University of Botswana Finance Society President, Ms. Lame Morake, who will be delivering the vote of thanks this morning. Please let us recognize her. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of the student community at secondary and tertiary level. We have various schools in attendance this morning. I'd like to acknowledge each and every one of you. We have, of course, Naledi Senior Secondary School with our patron, Mrs. Samuel. May you please just stand up. Let us acknowledge you. Thank you so much. We have, of course, Crescent School, which they're with our patron, Mrs. Motlogela. Please also stand up. Let us acknowledge you. We have my former school, the Learning Center, with Mrs. Prasad. Please stand up. Let us acknowledge you. Thank you so much. We have Lekhai Academy with Mr. Putera as well as Mr. Mswa Kisi. Always gives me a challenge. Thank you. We have, of course, Maruapula School with Mr. Julius Onyait. I hope I pronounced that correctly as well. Are you here this morning? They'll be joining. Thank you. There you are. Thank you so much. And then, of course, we have tertiary institution student clubs in the form of the UB Finance Society as well as the Economic Society. Please stand up. Let us acknowledge you as well. Thank you. I also like to acknowledge parents and academics from various institutions, BSc management and staff. I also like to acknowledge the presence of stakeholders within the ecosystem of capital markets, the business community, members of the media, members of the public, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
At this point in time, I would like to invite to the podium the BSE Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Thapelo Tseole, to deliver the welcome remarks and the publication initiatives by the BSE.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you to the BSE. And specifically to the opening bell ceremony that signals the month of the senior secondary school competition. This is a very important competition to us as BSE, not only because it was recognized as the best educational initiative in Africa, in the whole of Africa. This was seen to be the best educational initiatives. So we are currently title holders as BSE for that, and we are very happy that it is a result of cooperation, participation and commitment of various stakeholders across the country. Especially students and teachers. I think most of us who have attended this competition know how competitive it is. You are required to give answers in a split of 10 seconds, and This year, again, I think like last year, it's a point system. 10 schools. We have increased the number of schools, I think, from last year. But most importantly, I think, is the big geographic representation that we continue to get. We don't select it. It is done on merit. Last year's champions, Lobatse Secondary School, won it because they were good. But I think last year is one of the few times that I sat throughout the competition. I know all schools were extremely very good. Nata and Macha, they seem to be far from Gaborone, but they were very good in this. They are very competitive, and I'm glad that they managed to travel all the way from Nata and from Kang to attend this ceremony. And this clearly shows our commitment as the Stock Exchange to this competition. We transport them and we accommodate them. We don't want those excuses or something. Whatever you guys do in Nata, we make sure that the kids and the teachers are transported and are accommodated here, courtesy of BSA. The same applies to the competition. At the time of the competition, we pay for transport. We hire special minibuses to go and collect them wherever they are, and also we accommodate them, give them proper accommodation, so that there are no excuses that they won because we didn't sleep properly last night. So it's a flawless competition. All things been equal, but it's one of the things that I like attending. I remember very well that I'm supposed to have a trip to Singapore, which was supposed to end on the 17th, but I make sure that on the 16th I am here, so that on the 17th I'm witnessing this competition. And I would encourage all of you, even those who did not make it this year, or who will not make it this year, as head of market development will announce later, come and witness. It's free of charge. It's a good learning experience, and it's also very enjoyable because, you know, when you have 4 students sitting there at the podium having to make decisions within 10 seconds, I think it's always a very good thing. I think I'm not going to speak for long, but just to go through a number of initiatives that we do at the BSE for public education. Of course, we have this senior secondary schools competition, which started in 2013. Champions were Lobatse. They are late now, so probably that's a signal that this year they will probably be beaten. And then we also have open days that we do countrywide. Since 2016, we have covered a number of places, and these open days are done across the country free of charge, and I think we have reached up to 4,000 people so far. And I think the level of increase in terms of investor base in the BSE, it's solid. We can see it. We also have the opening bell, which we are doing today, but today is specifically the schools that went to the finals. I think it's the first, second, and third place that are the ones who are going to be ringing the bell. And the weekly radio programs, strong social media presence, BSE magazine, which I'll encourage you to read. I think we have done 4 editions so far, 6 editions so far. It's a very beautiful magazine and very, very, very good read. And also we also have some paid programs that we do throughout the year. I don't want to speak long. I think head of marketing market development will come and give us more in terms of the competition and its intentions. But of course, there's a prize money for the competition. It's how much? It's 29,000. 29,000 Pula is up for grabs. What we do is that we don't give out money, but we give out vouchers that you redeem to buy shares in listed entity. For students who have won, prize number 1, 2, 3, and this year we've decided to add the 4th prize to reward them. I think the top one gets one. Okay, she will say it. But what we do is that we don't give out money, we just give out vouchers that you redeem to buy shares of your choice, and then you keep them as one of the participants. This is to encourage you to continue investing in the market and to continue to learn about shares. But the good thing is that I don't think the students redeemed these shares immediately after purchase. Some of them held them for a few months or for a few years, which is a good thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the August bell ringing ceremony. Enjoy your stay here, and we are happy to have you. Thank you very much.
At this point in time, I'd like to ask all 15 students as well as their teachers to come to the podium to come ring the bell for the opening of the market. So I have Lobadze, Nata and Macha as well as their patrons to come to the podium, please. 3, 2, 1, ring. Thank you for that. For the next item on our agenda, we shall have the panel discussion, which will be centered on the importance of a financially literate Botswana. It will be facilitated by my colleague, Ms. Atangi Poko, as well as the winners of last year's competition. So the 3 students that have been nominated by their respective schools, I'd like to kindly invite you to the podium, as well as my colleague to facilitate the next session.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. My name is Atangi Poko from Market Development, and I will be moderating today's discussion on the importance of financial literacy in Botswana, a topic that is very dear to us as the BSc and generally of great importance in Botswana and the world across. So joining us in the panel are students that we have invited to lead today's panel. We have Lame Ubupilwe from Macha College, we have Kay Mainga from Napa Senior Secondary School, and we have Tabang Mothavi from Lobadze Senior Secondary School. Guys, welcome and thank you for being a part of today's discussion. So without wasting any further time, I would like to pose the question without any particular order. Tabang, in your view and in your opinion, what do you regard as the importance of a financially literate Botswana?
I think that the importance of financially literate Botswana actually means that we, as like a nation, have to like gain financial education, like financial knowledge on our everyday life basis. That's what I mean. So when I think of financially literate Botswana, I think of individuals. I mean like financially savvy individuals who are able to actually understand issues in relation to like the stock market, borrowing and savings on the bank. So when I think of Botswana, us as a nation being financially literate, I think of us being like economic drivers in the world and being like better entrepreneurs than we are right now. That's what I think being financially literate actually means.
Brilliant answer. Thank you very much, Talang. Kay, what would you have to say about that? What are your sentiments regarding the importance of a financially literate Botswana?
I think a financially literate the population knowledgeable on how to use money every day and how to grow or diversify their income. So it's such that when one fails, such that, for example, an individual may say that income, maybe have a job, own a tuck shop, have shares, such that when one feels they're able to support themselves financially. A financially literate Botswana is one in which the nation can you say this? A financially literate Botswana, the citizens will be able to buy shares on the stock market, and buying shares boosts the local companies. And when you boost local companies, you create employment which is a major concern in our country. So being financially literate is really important in our everyday life as we help each other and can live better and also really increase the life expectancy of the country. I think it's like 60 or somewhere there. So if we have more money, less stress. Less
Thank you very much.
The importance of a financial literacy of what I understand about this thing is it's basically the people of Botswana having that knowledge, the skills and experience on how they can manage their financial resources in order to have a lifetime financial security. So if we are financially literate, it means that each and every income earner in Botswana is a potential saver. He or she is a potential saver. So if you are a saver, you are an investor, and an investor is financially literate. So if people in Botswana can be financially literate, it means that there's going to be less dependence on government. Therefore, the image of the country is improved. So financial literacy is basically reigning as a master of money, not being controlled by
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it and you see what these young and talented minds have had to say about this very important topic. Do you have any further comments that you would like to still add on?
When we become financially literate, I mean, like, there can be less crime in the country. Because at the moment we find ourselves as the public, and as the debt, and being victims of financial scams and swindlers in the community. So gaining financial knowledge and the skills to be able to be well capable of identifying these scams and financial swindlers, we can be able to actually reduce the crime within the country, which will also help us as a nation and as a country to like better our image in the world. That's what I think.
Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. As you may witness, these are the last year's finalists from the BSC's annual Schools High School competition, and this is pretty much a synopsis, an overview of what to expect for the next competition. Thank you guys for being a part of today. Thank you very much.
Just like the CEO alluded to, the BSC Senior Secondary Schools Finance and Investment Competition was first established back in 2013 as a way to raise awareness about the capital markets and promote the importance of financial literacy. Moreover, it was also established to try and cultivate a culture of investing and saving at a grassroots level. So particularly, this is our annual flagship youth-focused initiative that we have been driving every year. And this is the 7th year that we will be hosting this competition. And just like the CEO alluded to, it's been growing in popularity since the year of inception. To date, I think from this year alone, we had over 30 schools that were shortlisted, which sort of forced the BSC to increase the shortlisted number from 8 to 10 schools due to the number of the caliber of responses that we received with the essay submissions. So that is good and encouraging for us as the Stock Exchange. And on that note, I would like to invite to the podium the BSc Head of Market Development, Ms. Thapelo Moribame, who will give an overview of the competition itself, as well as announce the shortlisted 10 schools that will participate in this year's competitions on the 17th of August at Travel Lodge. So, Ms. Moribame, please come to the podium.
Thank you, Khotla. Wow, I'm very emotional. I don't know what to say. Just from everything that transpired here, the brilliant responses to the question at hand, I must say that this is truly the best years of your life. So you need to learn as much as possible. You need to absorb every piece of information that is coming your way, and with that, the future is bright. So I'll not go through the protocol list because the Master of Ceremony has already done that. But I must say it's hard to believe that it's 7 years. This competition has been running for 7 years now. So we are very proud of this competition at the BSE because we understand the impact that this competition brings to you as students, to this country, and at the BSE as well. So the 7th annual BSE Senior Secondary Schools Finance and Investment Competition will be held on the 17th of August. The previous speakers have already alluded to that at Travel Lodge in Block 3. So later on, I'll give you the list of schools that have made the shortlist. So good luck to all of you. We are extremely proud of what this competition has achieved. Resol has already spoken about the awards that we got in response to this competition, the educational aspect like Khotla highlighted, and the fact that we hope that at the end of these competitions, you are able to have lasting relationships as students, as teachers, as schools. So last year we had top 8 schools. So like Resole has already said, we have top 10 this year because we wanted more schools to participate. So what is going to happen with the competition is that the 10 participating schools on the day are broken into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. And then that would be five schools per group. So the schools in Group A and Group B will go up against each other to accumulate points. And then the top 2 schools from each group will then be selected in terms of the points accumulated, and those top 2 schools will progress to the semi-finals. So each round will consist of 10 questions per school with 20 seconds allocated for answering. So as an incentive, the schools are urged to finish top of their groups to ensure that they are then pitted against the second place school in each group so that they can, during the semi-final phase. So the same format is followed again for the semi-finals until the top two teams advance to the semi-finals. And then the bottom 2 teams will fight for third place. So this year, I'm happy to say that we have diverse schools that we have selected. We look forward to more publicity for this competition so that you also get profiled in the process as students. Again, you are working hard towards your future, so we want you to shine as well as students. So there'll be proper branding again for the competition so that it's bigger and better, because we are challenged as the BSE every year to deliver a bigger and better competition. So the competition prizes, the most exciting part. Are you excited? Yes. Okay. So we have 4 positions this year. We have added the 4th position. We've never had a 4th position in the past. So the first position, the total prize value is 12,500. So that means that it's 2.5. It's a 2.5 share portfolio for each student, for each participant. And then the second place school will then get a total price of 7.5, which attracts a 1.5 share portfolio for each student. And then the third place school will get a total prize value of 5,000 and a 1,000 share portfolio value per participant. And then the fourth place school will get a total price of 4,000 with 800 share portfolio voucher for each participant. Is that great or what? Are you happy with that? And then in addition to these prizes, we always ensure as the BSE that students get maximum exposure and schools get exposure, and the teachers as well. So we have events like this one, the opening bell ceremony. We started this initiative last year. So we are going to continue the initiative going forward. So we'll always ensure that the top 3 or top 4 schools, as we'll decide later, will participate in the opening bell ceremonies. We also ensure that you get maximum exposure on the BSc platforms. We have active social media pages, we have a publication as the BSc. So we'll always ensure that there is that exposure to the market for the winning schools. So I'll now proceed to the most important part, which is to announce the top 10 schools. Okay. In no particular order, we have Good Hope Senior Secondary School. We have Naledi Senior Secondary School. Feel free to shout, eh? Yeah. And then we have the Lenin Center School. We have Letakane Senior Secondary School. We have Silibe Pikwe Senior Secondary School. And the 6th spot goes to Maruapula. Maruapula, are you here? You don't know. And then 7th spot goes to the current champions, Lobaze Senior Secondary School. 8th place we have Lehai Academy. 9th spot goes to Crescent School. And the last spot goes to Francistown Senior Secondary School. So there you have it. That is your top 10, the 10 schools that have been shortlisted. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the 17th of August. Good luck to the schools that have made the shortlist, and best of luck for the schools that didn't make it this year. So hopefully we'll see a strong comeback in 2020. Bye, so thank you so much.
As you can see, our 2nd and 3rd place schools from last year's competition did not make the shortlist this year. I think this speaks volumes as to the competition that a lot of schools do sort of undertake to participate in this particular competition. So it's no hard luck. I think it should encourage you even more next year to participate. I think Macha has been participating in the past 3 years consecutively. They've done quite well. And I think this year they've strong, but I think they'll come back stronger next year, as well as Martha Senior Secondary School. Thank you so much. Yes. This part of the program, we will be calling to the. I will be inviting to the podium Ms. Lame Morake, who is the UBFS president. As you do know, at the Stock Exchange, we do try to engage in partnerships with tertiary institutions, student clubs, in a bid to raise awareness amongst the student community about capital markets. So we did engage in a partnership with them that started off in 2017, and we have been engaging in various activities and projects with them to assist us in trying to attract the youth to participate in the stock market. So we're going to utilize this platform to give them exposure, and she will be coming here to deliver the vote of thanks, and of course to talk about what they're doing as the society.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Protocol has been highly observed. My name is Lame Morake, as Khotla has already alluded. I am the president of the University of Botswana Finance Society. My duty today is simple, as to give a vote of thanks and give an overview of what we do as the University of Botswana Finance Society. Ladies and gentlemen, I must say it's such a privilege and honor to stand in front of you and give the vote of thanks, because it's not an everyday thing that you could be given. It's such a beautiful opportunity. Like I said, my duty today is to give a vote of thanks. I am really thankful for your presence. Out of your busy schedule, you guys have chosen to grace us with your presence. You have shown your devotion and interest to the BSE calling each and every time, and with that, I applaud you. As a youth, I was really marveled as those youngsters were up front, because I think back in our time these things were not there, and it wasn't a norm to be talking about financial literacy. A day ago I was telling my mom that I would be giving a vote of thanks, and she was like, that's when I realized we are a generation, we are the millennials, we are the critical minds, we are the people who are going to shape our generation, and we're going to break the glass that is already existing to make Botswana a better change. We as the University of Botswana focus on imparting financial literacy through different things. We have seminars, we have partnerships. As he already alluded, we have a partnership with them where we reach towards the students community, trying to involve them into investing and cultivating issues of financial literacy. And we are looking at how BSE has been pruning or going out to disseminate information to the outskirts of Botswana. Ladies and gentlemen, through the open days, I am not really surprised as to why they scooped the best educational stock exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, may you applaud the BSE for that. As Kay was saying, Ari, if you're not financially literate, it's already 60 or because you already had stress. So I don't see why we shouldn't be financially literate. I don't see why we shouldn't be financially involved into this. Issues of financial literacy are really there to cultivate our lives, try to make Botswana a better change, try to increase and diversify our economy. So let us take our chance in making this opportunity a bigger one for our country, for our own generation, so that we won't be dependent on our government, so that we won't be dependent on anyone. Botswana is such a better country. And all that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say I am really thankful. And I wouldn't close without thanking the media. The media really play a pivotal role in the stock exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, are you aware that you can even watch me tomorrow more paging ya BSE? I mean, if you don't make it because of time, because of anything, you can even go through the page to go and look at that. So we're really thankful for our media. They're really playing a pivotal role. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lame. I think just on that same momentum, one other part that I would also like to acknowledge and praise is the role of the teachers. I think you go unnoticed and you go under the radar, but your work and commitment in preparing these students for such competitions is quite admirable. So at this point in time, I'd like the whole room to give your teachers a huge round of applause. All right. Just like Lame did allude to, everybody wants to see themselves on social media. Yes, that is great. So we're going to give the next item on our agenda that particular attention. For each of the schools that is present here this morning with our patrons, we would kindly ask them to come to the podium and take a picture with BSE management. We will start, of course, with our winners up until we conclude with all the schools.